I'm going to tell you tonight about a product called CoolShim, and I'm going to tell you how it improves vehicle safety and extends component lifetimes on vehicle brake systems. So the first point is the problem, and that is bad things happen when brake systems overheat. Okay, so on the left we had the loss of life in La Cañada about 4 years ago, where an 18-wheeler came down the 2 and killed 2 people on its way into that building. And then you have the gentleman on the right who's trying to tow too much boat with too little truck. And he's actually still in there if you look. Kind of a scary situation. So how do you solve this problem? Well, we've developed CoolShims. And these are a drop-in part that decreases brake temperatures 20%. And with that decrease in brake temperature, you get increased safety, increased component lifetime. They're easy, they're economical to install. Here's a set of brake coolers on a Toyota Tacoma caliper. They can be designed for any disc brake system. They're protected with 4 patents currently. 2 patents cover the actual brake cooler, the CoolShim, and then 2 patents cover the dual metal composite that is used to construct the brake cooler. Market definition, there are over 200 million vehicles in the United States. Does anybody have any idea how many of those are pickup trucks? People in LA have no idea that most of the vehicles sold in the United States are pickup trucks, about half of them. All right? And this is important because this is one of our primary markets that we're interested in. So a 2012 SEMA market report, and SEMA is the Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association, reported that 10% of all vehicle owners plan on modifying their vehicles sometime within the next 3 months. 5% of those people are going to do it just strictly for performance. They don't have a category for safety. So our principal demographics are trucks and SUVs that are used for towing. This is going to be an improved safety feature. Then after that, we're interested in fleet vehicles. They'll be interested in the increased component lifetimes. And then we're also interested in talking to the military and sports car industry for increased performance. We're actually, like I mentioned, we're already selling to the sports car industry. So our current status, we've sold over 100 sets for revenue of $10,000 to mostly the Porsche enthusiast market. We sell those through online distributors and through shops that have heard about our product. It's mostly word of mouth. We've done a couple of very small ads. We recently have sold 2 sets to the Army for their Humvee platform for testing this month. We got a call 3 weeks ago and said, can we have these in 2 weeks? They take a little time to design and build, so we're like, give us 3 weeks. And then here's an endorsement from one of the first gentlemen that purchased the brake coolers to race with his Porsche 911. Competition. There's always competition. One of the principal ways that people handle brake overheating right now, like the Army, is they've upgraded to their pads and their fluids to higher temperature components, but those are consumables and they cost a lot, so you're going to have to replace them frequently. The other common upgrade is a complete brake upgrade, and those are expensive. Those are the big calipers and rotors that you might see some of the people put on their high-performance vehicles. Those are about $2,000. So CoolShims really are an economical and attractive solution. There's no vehicle modification necessary. They're drop-in part. They have a very high performance to cost ratio, and they last the life of the vehicle. They're not a consumable. So here's our management team. I myself have spent the last 10 years in terahertz technology. It's very different than automotive technology. I've gotten into the automotive technology just because of a passion for many, many years. But in terahertz technology, I've raised over $1.5 million as part of a small team for advancing terahertz technology, and then also sold products about $800,000 worth. I met Mr. Tim Clark several years ago. He's been the consultant of record for many military platforms. He's the one who just recently got us talking to the Army. Actually, we've been talking to them for quite some time. He's the one that's got us in on this testing that's going to occur this month. He's got over 20 years of experience. And then our manufacturing is handled by Mr. Jim Schaefer. All our manufacturing is being done in North Carolina currently through contract manufacturing. It's allowed us to keep our overhead very, very low. We only order parts when we need them. Part of what we're looking for money to do is to actually have some staff and bring some more stuff in-house and be able to increase the number of products that we service. Mr. David Smith is our advisor, as is Mr. Michael Milam of Milam Connect and Warner. Company passed. We had an initial investment of $100,000 back in 2005. I myself have put in $100,000. This funding has financed quite a bit. We've not only gotten the patents, but we've been developing manufacturing techniques, a couple of different products. We've gotten the product to market, done initial product testing, gotten feedback, so we've done a lot. Financial projections. Initially, in the first year after financing, we expect to sell about 2,400 sets. And this does not include if the Army does come on board and likes the result from the testing they're doing this month. This is just in trying to strike the consumer market. Our first market is going to be address the pickup trucks and consumer towing. And we expect in the first year, like I said, to sell 2,400 units and then slowly ramp up. By the third year, we expect our marketing to take hold and actually get some traction and start to see increased number of sets sold and increased revenue. By the fifth year, we'll be manufacturing approximately 450 sets per day. And at this point, if at any point we get over this, we're going to have to, this we can do through contract manufacturing, but much more than this, we'll have to start bringing in some equipment. Our first milestone is going to be profitability by the third year. So our summary, cool shims are protected with 4 US patents. They solve a problem that has not been solved to date. And we are seeking to raise $900,000 in order to expand our product line, perform extensive marketing, and reach our goals. Thank you. Sure.
What's the 4 products versus cool shims? It seems like cool shims would be a cooler name of the company.
Cool shims, we're actually going through a rebranding right now. So if you look at our website right now, these are called the Fade Stop Brake Coolers. 4 products was the name of the company because I thought we would have 4 different products when I started the company in 2004. We're going to cool shims from Fade Stop Brake Coolers because of the advice from Tim Clark, who said what he's selling this as is something that saves brake component wear, not necessarily prevents brake fade. And cool shims is it is a cool shim. It's a shim and it cools down. It prevents brake fade and extends component lifetime.
I heard you talk about some competitors about finding ways to get a high tolerance to changing some things for raising your ability to handle the temperature or just replacing brakes. It sounds like you're saying this is an add-on. Is there anybody else directly playing as an add-on?
Not like this, but what people typically do, what the Army has done is they go to higher temperature fluids and higher temperature pads, and that doesn't really solve the problem. And then that's why they're talking to us now. What the real problem is you're generating all this heat. You need to get it out into the airflow, or you need to have a much larger. Oops, this isn't a pointer. Oh wait, there it is. A much larger rotor and assembly that can handle larger heat load. $2,000. These are more expensive. Actually, if you replace your fluid and pads, it's going to be the cost of a set of cool shims, but you're going to have to do that every 2 years, every 1 year, depends. It's consumable. Did I answer your question?
So nobody's directly using cooling the brakes?
No.
Nobody's trying to cool the brakes?
No, not in the manner we do. People put ducts on the brake cooler, on the brake calipers, but the heat is inside the brake caliper. And what this does is it brings it out into the airflow so that the ducting that people could do is much, much more effective, 20 to 30% more effective.
Okay. Are there any safety issues? It seems like this is completely not related in terms of like it's not going to be unsafe in any way, shape, or form, liability or things along those lines. It's more of an addition to something that's already safe.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
People have been racing with these now for 5 years, and we have not had anything except good feedback. If you're familiar with a brake system, he was asking about the liability and safety issues. If you take apart a brake system, you'll find it on the back of the brake pad is a shim, usually for noise. This is just a shim. It's just a particular composite, and it conducts the heat up into the airflow.
Is there any focus on like municipal buses and school buses? I mean, when you say safety and things of that nature, going down hills, and a large heavy vehicle, that would pop into my mind as a possible market.
Absolutely, absolutely. The first and largest market we're interested in hitting is the consumer, the F-150s, the Ford F-150s, the Ford 250s, people that tow boats like that gentleman there. There's a really good distribution network for that with towing companies and aftermarket add-ons. As far as the buses and the trucks, those are more the fleet vehicles, and those tend to be a little bit slower to adopt any new technology, so they would come after we've done more proof and they've seen the results. But yes, absolutely. Garbage trucks are a really big one. They go through brakes like crazy. They're huge vehicles, stopping all the time. Police cars, emergency.
Yes, sir. Would there not be some incentive for OEM manufacturing as opposed to have this aftermarket product engineer these into vehicles?
I've spoken to a couple OEM. The question is, why not talk to the OEMs? OEMs sell brake pads. They sell brake rotors. They sell brake calipers. They want to do the minimum that is required so that you come back and buy those parts as regularly as possible. The other thing is, I've actually spoken to the head of business development at Toyota, and his response was, we have no trouble with our brakes.